And finally, drum roll please, the big announcement. The RTR and details, most of the details about the RTR. This one's been hard, hasn't it?
It's been a long road.
Long road.
At least time-wise, starting last February, looking for places. And now, literally within minutes, we will have a signed contract for someplace.
Yes. The size of the thing has just become a big problem. BLM land, especially here in the desert Southwest, we are not far from Quartzsite, Arizona right now. We'll give you more details. It's just hard to find one place that'll hold 10,000 people. In fact, we did not have good success doing that. First, let me apologize that we're so late. It's not. I know a lot of you have to get vacation time. You have to plan trips. Some of you are coming from Maine. There are people flying in from all around the world, and I know this is being so late is a real inconvenience to you, and I'm very, very sorry. It's our goal to announce it as soon as possible, and hopefully we won't have this much problem in the future. We've worked really hard to find a one place where we could both camp and have the event, and we could not find that place. That's the bottom line, for lots of variety of reasons. The big one is cost. Had we stayed at Quartzsite and done it exactly like we had done it in the past, first, we had a terrible location. I mean, that was the worst possible location. It worked, but it was the worst possible location. But the BLM in the Quartzsite area was going to want up to and possibly more than $600,000 for us to do the event there. And of course, that's just, and that's not to hold the event. That's just the money we give to them. Then we would have all of our expenses, which were very large, after that. So that wasn't a consideration. Basically, the bottom line was public land was just not an option. It was just too expensive for what we were doing. So we started to look for private land. And do you want to tell that story, Sue Ann? How we ended up with someplace?
Sure. We just started looking. We worked with real estate agents. We just looked online. And in the case that we found, it was just someplace I remember seeing as I was driving by the many times I've been driving between Quartzsite and Parker. Are we ready to say where
the big
it is?
announcement. We're there now. This is where the RTR is going to be.
This is where we are. And it is at the La Paz County Fairground. It is almost smack dab in the middle of Parker and Quartzsite.
And a lot of you are thinking right now, well, where are we going to camp? That's the problem. It's when we camp next to the event. And so let's think of those as two separate things, the camping and then the event. They're going to be in different locations because that was the big problem. We couldn't find a location that we could combine them into one that was on BLM land and was affordable. So it's going, what is it from here to Quartzsite? About 15, 20 miles?
20 miles.
About 20 miles. It's going to mean a drive of about 20 miles, and there will not be one central location where we all camp in Quartzsite. That was the biggest problem. Where do you put 10,000 people in the desert? And in Quartzsite, it just was really, really impractical. The answer, and what is the biggest complaint? People talk about the RTR. What do they all say? It's just too many people.
Big.
I can't go there to that many people. And believe me, I understand. I couldn't go there to all those people either. I had to hide out. I understand, and it's a valid complaint, and we didn't like it either. This really kind of solves both problems. And to be honest, let's face it, we had probably 10,000 people at the RTR last year. And at any given one time, there were probably no more than 1,000 people at the event itself. Where we all gathered in this one small area. There was probably rarely more than 1,000, if ever more than 1,000 people. So, some of you are going to have to drive up here for the events, but for a lot of you, it's all about community and building friendships and bonds. And I think that's going to actually be better, the new way we're going to do it. So, Sue Ann, why don't you kind of explain the structure of camping in the Quartzsite area?
Sure. So we'll have a website up, and it's almost finished right now. So if you go to homesonwheelsalliance.org, click on programs, you'll be able then to find where we talk about the RTR and the WRTR. On that website, there will be a file that you can print, and that file that you will print will be the official RTR or WRTR logo on just a regular 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. The idea is then that you can put that in your windshield, so when you're camping, let's say you came here by yourself, you're camping and you camp and you look across the way and there's somebody else with that same logo in their windshield, you'll hopefully be brave enough to walk over, introduce yourself, and start talking about going to the RTR and what you hope to gain and what has been your experience in the past. Maybe invite them to your campfire that night, and who knows what will happen. Maybe you'll make a new friend for life.
At that time of the year in Quartzsite, it's very busy. And so we're hoping that you can just find each other through these methods. Maybe one of the things we've done at past RTRs is given people green and red ribbons, and they tie those around their mirror, their antenna in their vans or vehicles. So maybe that's something you can do just so that you can connect with each other. There's a ton of camping in the Quartzsite area. You won't have any problem finding camping. So we'll put out a sheet of all the different places you can go and camp. We cannot have any organized events outside on public land because then we need a permit, and we've just found that impossible to get. One of the things we're suggesting that you'll do is we'll have a page on the Homes on Wheels Alliance website, and it will have different locations you can camp, and you can use that as a broad general direction. But also we're suggesting that you go to freecampsites.net. They have dozens literally in this area where you can go and follow those GPS points that they give, and then I'll meet there, make friends, and then kind of gather all around there, because we can't all go there to that one spot. We'll have too many. But it's up to you to meet. And we're suggesting you camp as over in Ehrenberg. Maybe you'll meet all your friends over in Ehrenberg, or there's a little town called Brenda, which is just east of here, and there's a lot of BLM camping over in that area. As far south as Kofa, you could go all the way down to Kofa. There's beautiful camping down in Kofa is a wildlife refuge just south of Quartzsite. If you don't know where that is or what it is, and there's free dispersed camping there. You can come and camp up in Parker, and that would actually be closer, and maybe the traffic would be better. On the California side of Parker, a little town, not a town, they call it a town, I guess, called Earp, and then out on that road, there's a lot of camping out in California side of Parker. There's Shea Road, there's camping on Shea Road, and that would be by far the closest area you could camp to where the actual event will be.
I would like to say something about Shea Road.
Yeah.
That I found out when I was talking to the ranger at Lake Havasu City field office, the BLM field office, and the Parker 450 will be running.
Right.
And they will be closing parts of Shea Road in Parker starting the 23rd of January. And even though the race doesn't start until the 25th. So certainly go ahead and camp out there beforehand, but just realize that parts of it will be closed on the 23rd.
Let's cover a little bit about camping in the immediate area around the La Paz County Fairgrounds. It's going to look like that's all open game and you can camp on it, but it is not. We won't go into all the details because they're convoluted. On the north side is private. A bunch of it is BLM, but not accessible to us because it's permitted to the county. The bottom line is we're asking you not camp basically around the fairgrounds because it's convoluted who owns it, and a lot of it is sandy and you'll get stuck. We're just suggesting that no one should plan on camping in the immediate area. So, Sue-Ann, can you share with some of us the details of the actual event at the fairground?
Sure. First of all, thank you, La Paz County Fairground Board of Directors. They gave us quite the deal, discount, and some of those reasons I'll share with you. One of them is that we have no electricity, so we don't have that cost. So that means that for the RTR, the WRTR, it will be essentially a day event. So we'll start until after sunrise, and we'll lock things up after sunset. That's different for us. So that's just so that you'll be aware. The other thing is we won't have any other kinds of amenities like water. So be sure to bring your own water. This is still the desert, it's still hot, and dehydration is a real possibility. Dogs on leash, of course. No bicycles in the grounds. We'll have a place for you to lock those bicycles up. It is kind of a combination between dispersed camping and an actual fairground experience.
So that's the location. And Sue Ann, what are the dates?
The dates are January 14th through the 17th for the WRTR and January 18th through the 27th for the RTR.
One of the things that we've always been very, very careful to do is that the RTR is free. If you don't have to spend a penny to come to the event at the RTR. And of course, the dispersed camping in the area will be free as well. This won't cost you anything other than the gas to get here and drive around. However, we have a lot of expenses. Last year, our expenses for the RTR were about $25,000, and we didn't get anywhere near covering those costs. I personally paid for them all out of my pocket. That is not a viable, ongoing option. We really need to start covering the cost of the RTR, and we don't want to charge. The last thing we want to do is charge. This is to serve you. And now that it's an event of Homes on Wheels Alliance, the nonprofit doesn't want to charge you either. This is a service we provide. However, we got to figure out a way to start covering the costs. And so, Sue Ann, what are we doing this year to do that?
We're asking participants who are able to afford this to provide a $5 donation to help cover those costs. And to do that, we're accepting those donations beforehand online as well as at the event itself. If you do it online, you can go to howa.rallyup.com. That's howa.rallyup.com. And you'll see the option to do a $5 donation for the RTR and WRTR. Now, for that $5 donation, when you get to the event, we would like to give you a thank you gift of a 5x5-inch sticker of the official the official RTR and WRTR logos. So you can pick which one you want, of course.
So if you will all give the $5 donation, we'll cover our costs, and with a little luck, we'll have some left over. And when we say left over, and at a nonprofit, no money is ever left over. There's no money just floating around. Oh, what are we going to do with this? What will happen to that money?
Well, we really want to provide gatherings in other parts of the country and at other parts of the year. So if there is any excess, then we would put that in a special fund specifically for these additional gatherings so that more people in more areas can experience what you will experience here at the RTR and the WRTR.
So what is the long-term solution to this problem? The fact that we're growing, that we want to continue to have gatherings, we want to have many more gatherings. The long-term solution is that we buy our own land, and then we can use it for this event, the RTR, for RTR events throughout the year, and that other organizations who are serving the nomad community can use it. I mean, there are a lot of people that would be glad to have 100 acres and put on an event that we all benefit from. And so the best possible thing is to buy land. And so we're going to set up, it's not set up yet, but will be very soon, where you can go and make a donation towards the purchase of land, towards the entire community. We'll set up a page where you can go and make a donation towards the purchase of land. And once we have that land, we can all use it. Everyone in the community. We want to form alliances with other organizations, other nomad organizations specifically, so that we can all serve the community better. Ideas that we have for land is a training center. We're doing the caravans, and the caravans are such a crucial ingredient to this for new people, and we could have caravans on them, and we could move around the country on different lands that we own. So,
Build outs.
and build outs, Jamie's build out. We can have access for Jamie's build out, and anyone that's willing to do a build out. Any ideas that you have that will serve this community, we want to make an alliance. Homes on Wheels Alliance, that's our name. We're serious about it, and work with as many others in as many ways as we can. And once we have a piece of land, that can happen.
You'll go to the same page as I just recommended you go to make the $5 donation, and when I have that campaign completed, it will be there as well. Just it'll be called something like land donations or contribute toward land or something along that line. It'll have the word land in it, and go ahead and click on that campaign and just follow the prompts and provide donations that you wish to give. Just so that people know, when folks say that they want something to go specifically for the RTR gatherings or specific to lands, we have what we call restricted funds, and that's exactly what those funds go for. They don't go for operations.
So if you give money towards land, that money goes towards land. We don't use it for anything else, and so it's important that you know that. So there you have it. That's going to be the end of this video, and I know it's a lot of changes, but you know what? I believe this can still be the very best RTR ever. In fact, in ways it might be better than we've ever done. We might have smaller groups, and you'll form more bonds and build more community, and we can have more classes because we have a nice facility. And a big thing to say is happy birthday to the RTR. This is the 10th anniversary, the 10th time we've done it. And it's evolved and changed over the years, but to my mind it gets better and better, and we learn more with each one, and the best is yet to come. So happy 10th birthday, RTR, and all of you who are coming out to enjoy it. So thank you all so much for watching this video, and thank you for all your plans and your work to come and join us at the RTR. We really appreciate it. Thanks so much to all the people who have sacrificed so much of their hours and time and sweat equity into making this happen throughout the years. We appreciate you all. So if you like this video, if you got anything out of it, like us on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, hit that thumbs up button, and we'll talk to you later.
Alliance.org. Together, we are changing lives.